Good morning, everybody.
It's noon, but it's morning.
Hopefully it's morning when you're listening to this because you are on top of it listening as soon as you open your eyes in the morning.
But what if they're chilling at night?
True.
Or the
good
weekend.
afternoon. Good evening. Good day.
First off, very important business. We are taste testing the new Poppy right now.
Yeah, Taylor graciously brought me one. This is a cream soda flavor.
If you aren't watching this on video and you're just listening, this is your ASMR. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Cheers, honey.
We have to try. Wait, it's actually so good.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It's like some of them, you know how some of them taste like fake? This one does not.
Some of them taste way too sweet almost. Mm-hmm. This one's really
this is
good.
not very sweet, like in comparison.
At Poppy, we're looking at you. You did it again.
We like talk about Poppy or have Poppy in like everything.
Mm-hmm. We love Poppy.
It's a necessity.
Thank you.
Anyways.
All right, Taylor. So here we are recording our podcast for the second time, but we won't even get into that. We're just going to get right into this episode.
You know, that tends to happen to us a lot. Apparently, we have to have 2 recordings.
We have dress rehearsals.
Second time's a charm for us.
Second time's a charm.
But today, we're very excited because this topic is how do we do this?
How do we do it?
And this is marriage and ministry.
Yeah, marriage and ministry. It's going to be a good one, I think.
Yeah.
We can start off like we typically do, if you're open to it.
Yes, of course.
With a little weekly recap.
Let's do it.
All right, Taylor, take it away.
Okay, so my high was we went to Abby's house and we made baggage tags for Kelsey's concert. Also, I'm fully aware that we have talked about Kelsey's concert, I think, in every podcast. So
yeah. You guys only have like 2 more weeks of this, and then we're going to be talking about the concert.
So sorry, but there's just lots of things to go into it. And just like people make friendship bracelets for Taylor Swift's concerts, people are making baggage tags for Kelsey's. So we thought it'd be fun to craft night, and we did, and it was fun.
It was really fun.
So that was my high. That was something fun. My low, my kids are sick. Well, sorry, kid. Drew's also sick, if he counts as one of my kids. So a little sickness, but they're on the up and they're resting. Yeah. So that was my low.
There's so much going on.
Also, we have a collective low we will chat about in a moment.
Oh, we're going to get to
Unless that is your low, but you go for it.
Okay. So my high of the week, I had my longest long run.
Oh, yes.
Yet.
Yes.
It was 21.1 miles. Absolutely insane.
Which is unreal.
Yeah, it was my longest run I will do in training until I run the race. Yep. So after this, my mileage starts to decrease with my long run. So the next time I run 20 miles, I'll be running a marathon, which is absolutely insane to even think about.
And we're going to Wilmington to watch her. So
yeah, they are going to make the trip.
It'll be fun.
Which is so nice. We're going to make like a nice little like couple days out of it. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
But Taylor, the night that they came over, brought me, I don't even think I told you this, but she brought me like a post-run care little package. It was so sweet. She brought me bath salts and 2 Honey Stinger waffles, which by the way, I ate one before my run.
Oh, did you? Nice.
And then I put one in my pocket and ate it directly after my run.
Yep.
Those are really good, by the way. Honey Stinger waffles, if you're some sort of
at Honey Stinger
endurance participant. So that was good. And then the Unwell hydration drink, which was really good. I drank that after. It? Yeah. Okay. That was really good. And you brought me a wellness shot. So I did take that as well.
Yeah.
So very, very sweet. And you know what? That's just an example of how your friends show up for you. Just a little tagline off our last episode. Literally, the small things really matter.
They do.
Yeah. So that was a high collectively. And then one of my lows, I would say, gosh, what would one of my lows be? I mean, we have the dual low.
Yeah. Which is okay if you want to use that as a low.
Well, we can just segue into like what happened. So we got some TikTok hate.
We've had TikTok drama.
We had to put anti-bullying protection on our post. Which, okay, fine. Call us lame. But
which I haven't even talked to Abby about this yet. But we have like 3 new comments this morning. All negative.
Okay, this is the thing, guys. So we did the trend. And it's basically like, I'm a blank. Of course I blank. And it just trended on TikTok at that time. The video is actually like a few months old. We just resurfaced it.
Yeah.
But we made it when the trend was happening.
We hadn't even started this podcast yet.
Had not even started the podcast. And we got a lot of negative comments. And I will say, one, if you did see the video and you either attend the church or it was misrepresentative of our hearts, we do apologize for that.
Yes.
It was completely satire.
It was totally a joke. And we obviously would not have posted it unless we thought everyone would know it was a joke.
Yeah.
But apparently
people
didn't.
We did get a lot of people who have either been in ministry or pastors' wives. They were laughing at it and like found relatability just with like the joking aspect of it.
With all of those kinds of videos, I feel like it's like 80-20, right? It's like 80% people are like laughing or like, this is so funny. And then the other 20% is like,
yes. They like really came for us. And I will say, if you were one of the people that came for us, you're probably not listening to the podcast. But if you are.
In fact, they said that they wouldn't listen to it.
Yeah, they really made presumptions based off of a satire video about me and Taylor and the heart for our congregation, which we absolutely love. Our church, our congregation. We love being in ministry. We do not take this lightly at all. But if you are familiar with this role or even in working in ministry in general, you can understand or maybe even relate to how heavy it can be at times. And so we were just making funnies about it.
Yeah.
And it just got really taken out of.
We were trying to bring light to it. And that was the whole point of why we have started the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, one of the points, but you know.
Yeah. And I will say too, just like before people go, I just can't imagine posting something so negatively.
Just like getting on TikTok and just like
the comments.
Like trolling somebody. I can't.
Yeah. So just guys, be kind. Like being kind is really cool.
It is.
Yeah. So that was
our low.
That was our low. Because I felt, honestly, I think that's one of my fears is like misrepresenting God, but also the church.
Yeah.
And our leadership and all of that stuff. And so we do obviously take accountability if it hurt people or like was a misrepresentation because that was not our heart. It was strictly just to be funny.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah. Moving on. So we're going to answer some questions about how do we do this?
Yes.
Or how we do this.
Yeah.
But I think we should give a little bit of a backstory into marriage and what led us into ministry. So I'll let you take it away.
Okay, I'm going to take it away.
She's always taking it away.
Okay. All right. So Drew and I met when we were literally, I guess we met in elementary school. We were in the same kids' church, same middle school church. We grew up in the same church. And then right around junior high, when you start noticing boys and girls.
Oh, they're kind of cute.
Oh, kind of cute. We started chatting. He actually said I was a brat at first. I forgive you, Drew. But, you know, I guess he didn't think I was bratty enough.
He actually probably thought you were really cute and he was just like low-key picking on you because.
Yeah. So we like started chatting and, you know, just like kids do. And I ended up joining the youth worship team, you know, because we graduated from middle school to youth.
Right.
And then after that, the rest is history. We started dating at 14 and he brought me roses one night, white roses, said it was a symbol of my purity. And
so cute.
And he still gets me white roses to this day on Valentine's Day.
That's so sweet.
And that's how we met. And we've been together ever since. We got married at 18. And we've been in ministry ever since. Drew literally got his first full-time ministry job at 18 and has been in ministry ever since. So, so we have very different stories, which Abby will tell.
Yeah.
Take it off.
Take it away.
I mean, I literally can't. Take it off.
Take it away.
I meant take off with it.
Yeah. Like a plane. We're taking off. Okay. So me and Logan got married in November of 2023. And we dated we started dating in October of 2021, which I don't think I told you this, but we started dating a week before my dad passed away.
No, actually, I didn't know that.
So I was in Wilmington that weekend for my sister's birthday.
Yeah.
And we got the call that my dad had passed away. And I call Logan like immediately.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think my dad is gone. And like he, you know, obviously reached out to his dad and he's like, we're praying, whatever.
Yeah.
He got in a car and was in Wilmington within like 4 hours.
Aww.
He like made the drive.
Logan.
And we had just started dating like a week before officially, but we had been seeing each other a little bit for a couple months. So, but anyways, so started dating October of 2021. And then we got engaged in June of 2023 and then got married November of 2023. We did not let the engagement process go long.
No, we didn't either.
Yeah. It's just like at that point.
Sorry, what's the point?
Yeah. We already know we're going to get married, you know? So we had a beautiful wedding. It was so much fun. But so the backstory of meeting him, I used to attend this church when it was at a different location. So the church was founded a few decades ago and it started in a motel. And then they purchased property, land, and built I think they purchased property. Either way, they ended up in a church property off of Walnut Street. Yeah. And we moved here when I was 3. So I think it was 1997. We moved here and started attending that church at the time. And we were in that church probably all through like elementary school into middle school. My parents got divorced. A lot of stuff happened where we just like stopped attending. Yeah. But then through middle school and high school, a little bit, my mom would take us like here and there. Yeah. But I would say for myself was not like a church home by any means. And then in high school and college, I really like that was not a priority in my life, church and all of that stuff. So then January of 2020 comes around and it was post season of just like really bad anxiety, panic attacks, just like really hard season.
And your long relationship.
Yes. So at the time, I had been dating someone for 7 years. And so I just felt it was one January morning. And I remember reaching out to my mom and I was like, I really feel like I need to find a church home again. Like I tried a few churches in the area, but never felt like, okay, this is where I should be. Yeah. And so she suggested, she's like, maybe you need to go back to Cary. And I was like, oh man, anyone who's had like tumultuous seasons in their life, it's almost like certain places can be tied to that, even though they were not the instigator of it. And so I was really hesitant, but I looked on the website, Logan's dad, his picture was there. And y'all, I kid you not, I thought to myself, like, well, he looks normal enough. Yeah. Like, we'll give it a shot. We all do that, right? Yeah, we all do that. And so I came on a Sunday. That person I was dating came with me. And it was the Sunday that Logan was like installed into the church. So he was like prayed into staff and all that stuff. So we actually met Logan in the lobby. Yeah. I was like dating this person, met Logan in the lobby. And me and this person broke up a couple of weeks later. Like it was not long after that.
Yeah. So the first time they met, she was taken.
I was taken. Didn't last long.
Not for long.
So we broke up and then COVID happened. Yeah. And so I went back to watching online or started watching online. And I did not come back in person until Easter of 2021. So like I knew who Logan was, but if I'm being honest, like there was never this feeling of like, oh, we're going to date or like, oh, I'm interested in that. I think most of 2020 I was grieving anyways. Yeah. And I was just in like a very like healing time in my life through a lot of stuff that I'd gone through. But anyways, that was not my focus at all. And then I signed up for a course in the summer of 2021. It's called Alpha. If anyone's familiar, it's basically exploring your faith for believers and non-believers. It's a good course, but I more so did it for like community. Yeah. I hit this place in my life where I was like, you know what? I really consider this place my church home. I want to meet people. COVID was weird, like hard to meet people through church. Yeah. So I signed up for this course. I didn't go the first 2 weeks. And little did I know, Logan was responsible for orchestrating this, facilitating this course. And so he was reaching out to me and come on, bring a friend. We're going to have donuts. Like very generic. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So finally I did it. I went. And it was the first time I like walked in the door. He was over in the corner making pour over coffee. Yeah. He was like, Abs, come here. And like I walked over and he introduced me to like all these people that were there. So just very like warm and welcoming at first. Yeah. And it was like ever since that moment, it wasn't like I think I'm going to date this person, but it was like I'm drawn to him in a way that like was so weird because I had seen him and like known of him for like a year and a half. But I really had like no intentions of like, oh, I'm going to date this person. And he really didn't even know who I was either. Yeah. So timing is honestly everything. And I think looking back, it's just really cool. But he manipulated me into our first date. He's like, I really want to talk to you about young adults. And I'm like, okay, slay.
I was like, okay, fine.
I'm a young adult at the time, y'all. I'm
Logan's
old
like,
now.
I'm going on my first date.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'd love to grab coffee and like pick your brain about young adults in the Raleigh area.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, like he wants to pick my brain.
Yeah.
So we go to coffee for 4 hours. We did not talk about young adults one single time. And then, yeah, the rest is like, honestly, obviously it was a journey with just my own, healing stuff to like receive the kind of person and love he was giving, which I think kind of segues into it where like faith as the foundation in relationships, similar to friendships in romantic relationships, is so, so important.
Yeah. I
agree. Definitely had that with Logan, and super patient, gracious, kind.
Love that.
We started dating and now we're married. So here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very cool because we have two very different experiences and journeys with our significant others because like Abby and Logan both went through several different things before getting together, and then they got to process that together.
Yeah.
And Drew and I basically just had to grow up together.
Yes.
So it was more of like everything that would hit us growing up. We're just like, okay, we're just doing this together, you know? So it is cool because we have two very different perspectives. Like in a way that maybe Abby could not ever picture just dating somebody since 14.
No.
I could never, like, also I would have such a hard time being like going into a relationship with somebody that lay in my life. Like I just could not picture it. So it is cool how we have like different perspectives.
Yeah. And it's also, I mean, I was 28 when I met Logan. Yeah. 27? Yeah. 27. And so I was kind of later into my 20s. Everyone around me at the time had either like, for the most part, been dating someone or was married or even having kids. So later in life, but I will say it really is, from my perspective, worth the wait of
and
waiting
like,
for
timing's
someone.
everything.
Timing is everything.
So
the
Lord knows.
The Lord knows.
But we want to get into some questions. And the reason why we chose to talk about this today is because we got the questions about this topic.
Yeah.
A couple of them. So,
and we really wanted to like, because I think answering questions at the beginning is fun.
Yeah.
But these are, I think, ones that we could really make into a full episode because I think there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
So wait, I was going to ask you too, did either one of y'all's families, were they involved in ministry, or are you guys like first generation involvement?
No, we're first generation involvement.
Yeah. So I think that's also a really cool layer as well to have your perspective in that sense where Logan's parents are first generation Christians, but his parents have been in ministry most of Logan's life, if not all of his life.
Right.
I think all of his life, actually.
Yeah.
Most of it, pretty much his life.
Yeah.
Which has been really cool because I stepped into it 3 years ago, whereas Logan has been in it and he's adjusted to a lot of the stuff really that we're probably going to touch on in the episode and whatnot, even through lived experience and also seeing his parents navigate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so our first question, I don't remember who asked it, but we'll just throw it out there.
Okay.
How do you stay present with your spouse when you're constantly serving / show love for each other in the chaos?
It's a good one.
Do you want to start with how do we stay present with our spouses when we're constantly serving?
Yeah. I think that when we were in ministry a few years ago, especially when we were younger, like now Drew and I have kids, we have a whole different, our priorities are different. Back when we were younger and we didn't have kids, we were in ministry, it was almost just like you make ministry everything.
Yeah.
Like it is, unfortunately, we did it too. Like you put it up on this pedestal and it's like everything and it trumps everything in your life. And that's how it was for us. And so we just like did that. And I think that throughout that, you find yourself not being present with each other. And listen, it's kind of just like, it's not just with ministry. It's like with everything. You have to think of it like that. It's like, well, I can't just go put so-and-so first.
Right.
In the same way, like, well, I can't just go put ministry first. Like the order that I think biblically God wants us to experience life in is obviously God first and our family and then maybe serving in ministry.
Yeah, in the church.
Yeah, in the church. So for me, simple things would be like, of course, just like scheduling date nights. Like I know that sounds maybe cliche, but it's true. Because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but for me, like my calendar is my life. So if I don't stick to my calendar, like I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So if I can like have a date night on the calendar because it's time for us to just like sit down face to face. And big tip that I learned, don't talk about ministry when you sit down.
That's what I was going to say. Which when you start to implement that, it's really hard.
It's really hard.
Yes. Especially if you're both in ministry.
Yes.
Like I would say that.
You sit down and you're like,
it's really hard. What are we going to talk about? Yeah. It was so funny the other night, me and Logan were going to bed and we didn't really have time to catch up. It was a Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're like laying there, y'all, pitch black. And I'm like, guess what happened today? And we're like literally recounting our day, talking about ministry and like what happened during the day. Yeah. Which I think is fun and, you know, if it's like lighthearted stuff. But a lot of times it can be heavy. And so I think you're right. Yeah. Like having boundaries in which you guys talk about ministry related things.
Yeah. So that's a date night tip. If you have that date night and you're trying to sit down and be present, don't talk about ministry because it's already consuming your life.
Yes.
In every other area most of the time. And so when you take that time aside to be alone, focus, talk about something else.
Yeah.
Y'all, even if you have to get one of those apps that give you questions.
Okay, we've done that.
Yeah, we have too.
Yeah, it's really fun actually.
Like there's one that our therapist actually gave us and it's like.
Wait, send it to me.
I wonder if it's the same one.
No, we've done like the cards. I've never done an app.
Okay, it's an app and I'm going to send it to you. Okay. And it has like different questions. Maybe I'll try to post it in the show notes.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Whenever I post the episode. That way you guys can see too because I can't remember the name of it. But it's really great and it has like, if you're married, it has like spicier questions. we haven't done those.
Those have been kind of on the back burner.
Yeah, I'm like, let's not do that. No, I'm just kidding. And then they have just like dating questions or whatever. And so, good resource. So simple answer, and the second part of that was like basically in the chaos.
How do you show love for each other in the chaos?
Yeah. My answer to that would be talk to each other.
Yes.
Because whenever you are in ministry, it is so easy to just like go, 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 go. And so even if you're like at church or something, just like give a hug.
Yeah.
Acknowledge each other. Because I think there's been several times where Drew's an introvert anyway. He doesn't love talking in general. So like maybe we'll just be like, go, go, go. And it's just, we've learned maybe if we just stop, give each other a hug. Anything just to acknowledge like, hey, I'm here.
I see you.
Even though this is crazy and chaotic, we're here together.
Yeah.
And that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. I think those are great. Really good. I would say, so how do you stay present with your spouse when you're constantly serving? I would piggyback off of what you said. I think having intentional time set aside. So we like try to have Sabbath on Fridays. Yes. Y'all, it is really hard to keep it consistent, but it's really, really important. Yeah. And I will say you notice such a difference when you do have that set aside intentional time than when you don't. And so I think staying present, one, with designated time, but also two, like in little moments where like it's a quick check-in, like what you said. Yeah. And I think this is even where love languages come into play. Oh, yeah. Where like Logan feels loved in different ways than I do. Right. Same. And so that's been a learning curve for us being freshly
You guys have different love languages? Yeah, same. We do too.
So Logan could care less about gifts. Yeah. He could care less about acts of service. Yeah. He feels loved through physical touch and words of affirmation.
Yeah, Drew's the exact same.
Yeah. If I grab his hand or like if we're driving and put my hand on his leg or something that's showing him physical touch.
Like I'm here.
I'm here. Yeah. He feels way more loved than like me making him coffee in the morning or
which is like
folding his laundry or whatever the case may be.
Which is how I feel.
That's how
I'm giving
feel.
Love because I love giving gifts and acts of service. So
I love getting gifts.
And I love giving them.
Yeah. And so it was so funny, like on Christmas, I thought through, I'm like, okay, he's going to love this. I got him one of those Ember mugs.
Yes.
And I was so excited to give it to him, but also too like nervous because Logan's not reactionary. Like,
or
reactive.
Reactionary.
He'll like open something and he's like, thanks.
Oh, yeah. And you're like,
all right, here, now open yours. And I'm like, wait, did you not like
Drew's
it?
the exact same way. Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'd rather give you gifts than me receive them. And I'm like, well, this is really nice because I love getting gifts. But anyway, so I think paying attention to like what their love language is and how they feel loved, it's a way that you can just help each other feel seen among the chaos where obviously there's misunderstandings and things happen. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think it's in the little ways and intentional ways that you're able to stay present and show love.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just for marriage in general.
Yeah.
Because I think we have some listeners that, you know, they're married, but obviously like our foundation is Christ. But
and if you're in like, maybe you're not married, but maybe you're in a relationship that has vision for the future, you can still apply these things. Like put them into practice now.
Yeah.
Because it's only going to help you in the future.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure nobody would say no to a gift. I'm just kidding.
I was on the gift. No.
I'm totally kidding. But no, it is. If you're leading your relationship with vision, I think that you're right. Yeah. These could be things you could apply in this time.
What's number 2?
Okay. The second question. How do you keep Christ at the center of your relationship, and how has that affected your marriage?
Well, for me, it's just like prayer.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Yeah.
I think that just like with our own personal relationship with Jesus, the way that prayer just like recenters us and puts our focus back on the right things. It's kind of the same way for marriage for me. So I'm like, even if I'm not with Drew, I can still pray over him.
Yeah.
Pray over our marriage, and it kind of recenters me back to, okay, like Christ is the foundation of this. And just like reminding myself that.
Yeah.
And so prayer is like biggest answer for me.
Yeah. I would agree, but I also too would add, I think something that has helped me keep Christ at the center is to almost, while Logan's my husband, like he belongs to God first before he belongs to me. And so I think navigating, whether it's conflict or arguments, where obviously in those heated moments, a lot of times it can feel like very selfish in well, you're not understanding me, or how would you do that? Or how could you do that? I think when you step back and see, and I try to see him as the way like God sees him.
Yeah, that's great.
And I think that sometimes helps me recenter and checks my attitude a little bit and like keeps that center where like, if he truly is a center, we should see each other that way. Where like, and Logan does such a good job at this too, but like almost like scripture, speaking life over your partner.
Yeah.
Maybe like even those small check-ins, I think in any way that you could say, hey, you know, is this a quality and something that like Jesus would have had during his time on earth, or even who he is today? Yeah. How can I exemplify that? And how can I treat my spouse that way? Because you see them as his before you see him or her as yours.
I love that. It's great.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then how has that affected your marriage? Keeping Christ at the center, I would say it's, I genuinely don't know how people don't.
No, literally. I have no idea. Because if you are listening to this and you do, I don't know how you do, but
hey, drop us a comment.
Yeah.
But I will say, you know what's so interesting too, is I think it's so interesting because like if you think about the fruits of the Spirit, kindness, patience, love, all of the good things that are fruits in a good marriage, that's like the fruits of the Spirit. And so it's like, whether or not you realize it or not, the Spirit's probably activating and working through your marriage. If those are the fruits of your marriage, like I'm the first one to say any blessing and thing that's going on in my life is not by my own doing.
No.
Like it is by the help and provision of the Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
I cannot accomplish like, you know, anything that I've been blessed with has just been because of him. And so anyways, I think, I don't know if that's a hot take or not. I kind of just went in there with that. I just think it's super important.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I also can speak to where I know that what it's like to be in relationships where Christ is not the foundation.
Right. And that's where that plays in. Like Abby's been there, done that. And, you know, she knows like
the other side of
that.
So for my life, it has been so worth it to have that in a partner.
Gosh, I bet. So important.
Yeah.
Do you have any other marriage tips?
Marriage tips.
Just like off the cuff.
Off the cuff, I would say just have fun.
Yeah.
And I know that like obviously, of course, we have fun. But you'd be surprised by like how many non-funny people there are out there. Like you just gotta have fun, right? Like joke around.
It's a good motto we have here, if you can't tell.
You just have to have fun and laugh. God created a sense of humor.
Yeah.
So having fun, I would say these questions really hit on like, I think this more so is geared towards faith, Christ-based marriages and relationships.
Right, yeah.
I think at the human level, just like the treatment of each other is anyone can take away from that.
Yeah.
Having your partner and like paying attention to how they feel seen, loved, understood, having fun. It's very like selfless position.
Yeah.
Being in marriage.
I think too, like, this kind of piggybacks off, but just like, don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
Because I have done it. And, I don't know, like, I think when you get in your head, it's easy to take yourself too seriously. And that plays into just like learning to laugh and have fun.
Yeah.
And I think like my marriage tip in general would be continue to learn your spouse, because after 10 years, it's like, honestly, Drew is like not the same person that he was 10 years ago. Like, holy cow, I'm not either. And it's crazy how we've like, because we got married so young, we had to grow through that. And I understand why people are like, oh, well, marriages don't last when you get married at 18, because it's like, you don't even know who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is so true. I feel like I'm just now finding out who I am at 28.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm 29. Dang it. I just turned 29 in October. I feel like I'm just in my late 20s figuring out who I like truly am. So I think that basically continue to learn them over the years, and it will require adjustment on both ends.
Yes.
But like they'll have to adjust to you and continue to learn you. You're going to change throughout the marriage, just like they will. And so just continue learning them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's like, it's so true too, because there's like, when I first met Logan, like even taste in music has changed. And like, where I think like now I cannot imagine him
where like even like
him,
wearing some of the things he would wear.
Yes, like I
same
met
thing
him,
for Drew. Yeah.
When he had a different style and stuff.
Yeah.
And some of that stuff is still here. Like he loves Buck Mason.
Yeah.
It's like his favorite store.
Yeah.
So there's still little touches where like his simplicity, his like, he's very like modern in his approach when it comes to like aesthetics and stuff. But
Drew and Logan are the same. And like, you can pretty much guarantee they're both going to be wearing jeans in either white or black.
White or black.
Logan wore gray this week.
He has like the neutral. He's expanding his neutral palette.
That's, I mean, I literally had to beg Drew not to wear white or black. I'm
it's
like, honey,
white, black, or denim.
Please put something else on.
Yes.
He's like, okay, Mom.
Yeah. What are you, my mom? Well, he had that pink hoodie in the Zoom call.
I know.
And PC was like, oh, Drew, I really like that hoodie.
we had a Zoom call because of snow day for staff, and like we were on there and Drew was actually wearing a color, so I think our pastor was like, oh, Drew, I've never seen you wear some color before.
But even like me, I mean, I would say like in high school and stuff, you best believe I was an American Eagle spokes child. Like, that's
everything
all I would wear.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, I've loved things in American Eagle, but I think my style has definitely more shifted a little bit. Yeah.
So all that to say,
everyone's always changing.
Yes. Whether even in marriage or relationships, they might not even be wearing the same thing 5 years from now, or listening to the same music or drinking the same coffee. Like, it sounds silly, but you need to learn those little things about them.
Okay. This is actually so funny. So on our first date, we were waiting for our table at Barcelona. And so we walked up to like the Dillon, the parking garage where you can like overlook the city. And so we were walking up there, which is actually where we got engaged.
I was about to say, I thought that was,
So we had our first date in that building and we got engaged in that building. But anyway, so Logan was like, okay, who is your favorite musician?
Yeah.
And at the time, like, I'm just thinking, oh yeah, just making conversation. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, hands down, Chris Stapleton. Yeah. Like he is, to me, do I love every single one of his songs? No. But do I think he is one
musically
of the most
he's so
vocally,
talented.
lyrically gifted people? Yes. Like his writing, a lot of songs even too within like the country music world were written by him before he got his own name.
He was a writer first.
He was a writer first.
Yeah.
And so I just think there's just some people that were like meant to do it. And I'm like, so I went to this whole spiel with Logan. I'm like, he is so talented, and his voice, he doesn't even have to try.
No.
He just opens it and it's
not
like,
at all.
Just so beautiful.
I could still just listen to his national anthem from last year.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
He's just so talented.
We're rabbit trailing, but sorry.
Yes. Anyway, so I'm saying this at the time. So later Logan tells me, he's like, so when I asked you about your favorite artist, what was going through his brain was like, please don't say country. please don't say country. And then probably one of like the most, I would even argue, classic country people. He's not a pop country.
What did Logan listen to at that time?
He was like very into, I would say like not pop, but like Lainey. He loved Lainey.
Oh yeah.
Just that kind of like vibe, which I love now. I'd never heard of Lainey at the time, but now Lainey. I'm like, oh, I vibe with Lainey. But now we have like 2 or 3 Chris Stapleton records.
Oh yeah.
So Logan he is a Chris Stapleton convert, which I would say likes country music now more than he did when I met him, for sure.
Yeah.
But he's also picky with like his music.
I love it. I love it.
And he's not afraid to say like, no, I don't like that.
No.
So I think also too, like when we first met, he like had that vibe, and I think I did too. But like we both have like shifted a little bit. But the difference is like my family's involved, but nobody at that time is involved. Like they're all gone, so they can't even look at Logan and be like, oh, Abby like never wore hats before she met you. You know, because like that no one's here to say that. Well, there are some friends. Oh gosh, I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
No, you're fine.
I do have some friends, but anyways, but so today, funny. Like I'll get, Bailey will like, people will say like, yeah, Logan never used to blank, blank, blank.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well,
marriage does that. You bring things out of each other.
Yeah.
So any other marriage tips?
Apologize.
I know.
Like I know it's like Logan, and I will be so for real when I say like, he is always the first to apologize.
I love that.
Always. And I could work on that. But I will say, you never regret the times you apologize first. You know? It takes a lot of humility.
Yeah.
But yeah, apologize.
Also, like, and I'm not trying to be that person either, but 10 years later, it looks a little different. Like, after being married for 10 years, you're just like, I don't even know how to describe it.
Well, why don't you give us some tips as their season, decade-long
No,
wife?
not at all. What I mean by I was actually probably exposing my flaws in that statement. Oh.
We love that.
I'm just trying to be honest, you know? No, I think that being married for so long, I find myself being, I don't know, like we know each other so well. I'm just like, I'll be spicy like that without even, you know,
like you'll get like a little bit.
Yeah, like I'll get a little spicy without even thinking about it. Yeah, because it's just like we've been married for so
long. Yeah, you have no problem giving him some attitude.
Whereas I'm like so cute. I mean, it's so cute because like I was talking to Abby the other day, and she bought this phone case. Okay, this like suit, which I can't wait to see. It's like a personalized phone case, but it was a little penny.
Yeah, it was stupid.
And
support local. Small businesses.
Right. And I like asked Abby, I was like, oh my God. I was like, Logan doesn't care that you like bought that. And she's like, what did you say? You were like something like, Logan would like.
Oh, I said, if I told Logan to run as fast as he can off a cliff, he'd be gone in 5 seconds. Like, he'd be like, all right, here we go. And she just started laughing.
And like, that is like, to me, like, and of course, Logan is so great. He probably will be like that for years and years and years to come, Abby. And I love that for you. But
I love that for you.
Drew is super like logical and like super literal. And so he is like, I was like, if I bought a phone case for that amount of money, Drew would literally kill me. And then I was laughing in my head because I'm like, that is the difference between like married under 2 years and married 10 years.
Yeah, and I think you guys have kids as an added layer.
Oh,
too.
Yeah. But I think for sure, like, if I would have done it back then, he probably would have been like, yeah.
Oh, cute. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Now he's like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Do not do that again.
Yeah. Don't even think about it.
And he doesn't. That's my way of talking. Well, he doesn't actually talk like that. But
right. Yeah. Well, a couple of days later, I was like, so I bought something. And he was like, okay, what'd you buy? And I'm like, let me just show you. And so I show him first. And he's like, wow, that's really cool. So what the phone case is you fill out this Google form.
Yeah.
And you put in like all of your interests into the form.
Yeah.
And then she curates this phone case with charms. And so she personalizes and does all these little charms on the back of the phone case.
But you don't see it.
You don't see it until it delivers.
Which is cool.
And something came over me. It's the same thing when the park drop happened. Something came over me and
we all have our impulse buys. Yeah. I'm not saying I have tons of impulse buys, but that's something I've had to work on in my marriage. Okay.
Impulse buying.
So
I think this is foreshadowing.
We've had to, because I used to like not say anything when I would buy something. And then he would just see it and he's like, what is this? You know? And so we've come to the full understanding now. Like if I'm going to buy something, like I would say if I'm going to buy something $75 or more.
Yeah.
I've got to say something first.
Yeah.
Well,
and we had to hit that too, where we're like, I think ours is like, okay, if it's $100 or more, like you need to check in.
Yeah.
But also too, like, don't take advantage of that. It's not like I'm buying things that are $99 every other day.
No, not at all.
I do tend to have some moments where I'm like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it.
Oh, I do too. It's really bad. Even like, I mean, okay, it was only $5. So like this doesn't even count. But like I went to Target yesterday and I was like, I don't need that coffee mug. But it was so cute. They've had like the cutest mugs lately. And I'm like literally running out of room with all my coffee mugs because I have so many cute ones. And Drew was downstairs and he was like, he was helping me unload it. And it like hit the counter because it was glass. He's like, what is that? And so he opens it. He's like, you got another mug? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was $5. Okay.
Yeah. And that's, you know.
I mean, so it's not like it was a lot of money, but it was just funny because I was like.
A little impulse buy.
It was an impulse buy. And I enjoyed my nighttime peppermint tea in that thing. It was cute. It's like marble.
I know that's right.
Okay, so before we end, were there any fun questions from last week on Instagram
that we
didn't answer? I think there was like a couple because you were like, we're gonna get into that.
Should I look? Let me look up again.
Yeah,
but as I'm looking, I want to talk to you guys about something.
Yes, please.
And what I want to talk to you guys about is Rachel Kirkconnell and Matt James.
Oh gosh. Okay. You know what kind of friend I am?
She doesn't watch.
I don't watch it. But there's a new season that started last night, apparently.
Did you watch it?
I haven't, but I was like, because it's not only you, it's also Sarah too.
Yeah. I'm
She
big
also
Bachelor
watches
girl.
it. And
I can't help it.
She literally we were together when all of this happened with the Rachel girl. And so she was like trying to be like, do you know what just happened? And I was like, no, I don't. And she's like, so anyways, I should watch it.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to watch it because it's a brand new season. So
I haven't watched it I didn't watch last night. I'm going to watch it tonight. So if you watch it tonight, we can like live text about it.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. But if anyone is familiar in the Bachelor world, Rachel Kirkconnell and Matt James broke up. And y'all, this is one good
Which
for
is
you, Rachel.
Apparently detrimental.
But it has been a grieving time for a lot of people. But if this is the case, and if the speculation is correct, and this is Matt James's fault, he fumbled big time. I mean, this is like,
she's gorgeous.
She's beautiful. And I was telling Logan in the car, I'm like, this is probably because Matt James was a football player. Oh, okay. I said, this is the biggest fumble of his life. And Logan was like, yeah. I'm like, okay, not only is she, absolutely stunning, but like and I told him too, listen, from the public eye, we can only see so much, right? Yeah. So we see them out doing their food tours and having a great time, posting all these sweet stuff. So we don't know like the ins and outs. Yeah. But I will say she stuck by him through so much. Dancing with the Stars, his marathon trainings, him running marathons, his traveling, his food stuff, all of the deals he got. I mean, she was like by his side through all of it. And even the way she looked at him, like she loved him. And there was a podcast that came out in October. I just need to talk about this really quick. Okay. There was a podcast that came out in October, and I cannot remember who the hosts were, but they were asking them like, so marriage guys, they've been dating for 5 years and have yet to get engaged or get married. And so they're like, so when's engagement going to happen?
Red flag.
And he's like, her response was, he's the one that has to get down on a knee. Like she was a little bit like flippant with it, kind of like, why are you asking me? I'm kind of just waiting, which I can fully understand. Yeah. Why she would be so...
Yeah, it's been so long.
It had been so long, and she probably got the question all the time in her life and through social media. She was quite a high following. Yeah. And so is Matt James. But anyways, he posted a cryptic post at like 5 or 6 a.m. one morning, and it was about their breakup. And it was the first picture that they ever took at the Bachelor Mansion outside, and how he was asked. It was basically a prayer, but as the caption about like helping them navigate what the world will understand. And Rachel has been silent. Like she hasn't said anything except she made one comment. Do you know what it was?
What?
Have you heard of Deux Moi? They like.
Why does that sound so?
It's like DEUX MOI, and they like basically it's like a celebrity gossip account, but it's like spotted or basically anonymous submission. And so someone submitted, I saw Matt James and Rachel walking out of somewhere in Kips Bay in New York City. And Des Moines posted it. Rachel commented on it and said, wasn't me, LOL. So that's like the only, her sister has been like active in comments and is like, someone said, what, did you guys post this 8 hours after you broke up or something? Commented on Matt James, and his sister responded and said, try 3 hours. He posted the breakup announcement 3 hours after they broke up, apparently.
Well, you know what?
Well, she's going on Call Her Daddy.
She's going on Call Her Daddy.
Yeah, and so we saw it this morning.
Tomorrow.
Rachel, if you're listening to this, you're not. But girl, you look stunning. Second of all, she said nothing in the promo video, but her eyes said it all.
Oh, yeah, she did.
She's about to come through with the tea tonight at 9 o'clock.
Most people do on Call Her Daddy.
Yeah. And that's something that Alex Cooper does well. She just like...
she gets it out of you.
We were talking about how she really has this like business minded, where she's almost like niche in this area, where if someone has something that goes down in the public eye, Alex Cooper is getting them on.
My girl Kelsey. That's where
Did she go on Alex Cooper?
Oh, that's where she did her whole divorce spill. Yeah. You should watch it.
Okay.
But anyways, okay.
Questions. Back to it.
We'll just do a quick couple questions.
The first question that we're going to do is our daily routines. Take it away.
Oh, I love this question. Okay. This is such a hard question to make quick, but we have to.
Okay. We got to have it.
Okay. Guys, I'm such a freak about all routine things. So I just have a lot of things. I wake up in the morning. I don't look at my phone. I go straight to do like the whole face wash.
Oh, you do that right away?
Yeah.
Wow.
Situation.
Okay.
Because I have kids, so I have to. Then I go wake up my kids, go downstairs, and I always do electrolytes on an empty stomach first thing. Take that.
What electrolytes do you use?
I like is it Noon or None?
Oh yeah,
Noon.
I love Noon.
I like Noon. Yeah. That's the one I use right now. And then I also take all my supplements at that point. I make sure I eat something within the first 30 minutes to an hour of waking.
We love that.
Because blood sugar.
Regulation.
And then after that, I'll have my coffee. So sometimes I don't have my coffee till like an hour and a half after waking up, which some people think is criminal, but
no,
I have to do for my blood sugar.
Yeah, that's great.
And then after that, I have my quiet time as much as I possibly can, which I'm really trying to learn how to have grace with myself in that with 3 kids running around. And then after that's done, I'll kind of like do a house pickup. And then I will sit down and start working for the day.
Mm-hmm. And then what happens after you work?
Oh, we're doing like a full day routine?
Yeah, daily routine, sister.
Oh, shoot.
Not morning routine.
So after I sit down and work, now work looks very different for me in this season because I'm home with our youngest. So it's a lot of up and down. It's like I'll sit down, do email, do this, do that. And then I'll go and take care of my kid and then come back. A lot of up and down. And then I go get my son at 3. And then Drew and Sayla come home from school at the end of the day. And then we start like our whole nighttime. Like, oh, I forgot to add workout. Okay. After I work out.
Okay. So you're
at
like
some point in that day, I'm an afternoon workouter. Okay. Yeah. Or like midday.
Yeah.
And then when the kids are all home, we start that full on 3 to 6 p.m. parents. You know what I'm saying? It's rough.
Like the
rough out there. Yes. Yeah. Where they're unhinged, hungry, hangry, and tired. And so, then I do like the full on like mom thing, pack lunches, fix dinner. We have dinner. And then at night, I am super like crucial about my night times. After all the kids go to bed, take my magnesium. I take my L-theanine supplement. And
we'll drop them in the comments below.
Yeah. And
the description
then
box.
I try to like kind of prep for the next day a little bit. And then I go do my whole wash my face at night, etc. And then I have peppermint tea and I turn on my red light and I read. And I sometimes try to stretch as well.
You stretch while you read. Do you ever put your legs on the wall?
No, not while I read. Yeah, I do legs up the wall with my red light at the same time. It's very fantastic.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like, okay, I'm going to tell you mine. So I wake up literally like clockwork, 5 to 5:30 every day. Every day. I don't even need an alarm.
Yeah.
But I will say, okay, so I wake up 5 to 5:30, and I go into the kitchen and I have a banana with peanut butter immediately.
And salt.
And flaky sea salt. And then I make my latte and I work out in the morning. So I run typically every morning, but I'll usually do my quiet time with my coffee and then I'll get ready and I'll do my run. So I cannot run in the afternoon. So I have to get it done in the morning.
Okay.
And then I am like, it's a race against the clock getting ready for work and getting out the door.
I bet. Yeah.
Especially as the runs get longer. So then we get ready. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're in office. So I am in the office from 9 to 4. And then at 4 o'clock, we get off. Usually we'll plan dinner. If it's a nice day, I'm taking Brew for a walk. So I love to get like a 2-mile walk in if time and the weather permits. And so I'll take Brew for his walk. And then I get home and we make dinner and we'll do the dishes. And typically, which is actually, so me and Logan are ones that love to watch TV while we eat dinner.
Oh, we are too. 100%.
And last night, this threw me for a loop, but Logan cooked dinner. And as I'm like preparing to plate it, so he cooked it and then I was like plating it. And he was like, do you want to eat at the counter and like not have our phones or the TV?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And so it was actually really nice, but it was the first time truly that we sat across from each other and like talked during dinner. In quite some time. So that was a really nice little switch up.
That's nice.
But we'll eat together and then I usually am in bed. I take my magnesium and I take my probiotic and I drink my cherry juice and then
Okay, sorry, side note. Her sister sent me her tart cherry gummy recipe.
You make them yet?
I made them last night. I haven't tried it yet because it had to sit in the fridge to harden, but I'm going to try them tonight. I'm so excited. Okay, tart cherry.
Okay. Yes. No, I love them. I actually need to make them. Okay. So I'll have my tart cherry juice and then I do the same thing. I turn on my red light. I leave my phone in the kitchen. I did mention this before, but I leave it in the kitchen and then I turn on my red light and I read before I go to bed.
Yep.
And it's like the perfect wind down time.
It is perfect.
Clearly, I don't have the kids in the mix yet, but I'm such a creature of habit.
Yeah.
So my daily routine is really rare.
I still do it like I still do all of the nighttime stuff. I just have to do it after the kids go to bed.
Yeah.
So
all of my skincare happens post run. Yeah. Because I work out in the morning.
Yeah.
So those are our daily routines. Hopefully you feel inspired in some way. I would advise that if you don't have to wake up at 5:30, don't start now. Because once you start, you won't be able to stop.
Yeah.
And it's hard. And I think that's also too when y'all were at my house. I had a long run the next day and you guys graciously left. I was like, you guys can come over, but you have to leave by 8:30 because I have to get in bed or else I'll lose the sleep because I just can't sleep in.
Yeah.
So those are our daily routines.
Well, those are our daily routines and we hope that you guys got some good nuggets out of this marriage episode and let us know what you want to talk about next.
Yeah. We'll do maybe a text box.
Yeah.
We can submit questions or...
you can also just comment them if you are on TikTok. You can comment them on TikTok or we'll drop them on Instagram. Yes. A couple of you guys have just straight up DM'd, which is so great. You can do that too.
Yeah.
And we hope you guys have a great week.
Yes, we love you guys so much, and also to try the Poppy
cream soda.
Cheers.